Hello, everyone. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. The Young and the Restless spoilers. Nick finds out Adam cheated with Chelsea, threatens to tell Sally the truth. The Young and the Restless (YNR) spoilers reveal that Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, and Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, will try to put their betrayal in the rearview mirror. Chelsea and Adam will want to focus on the commitments they've made to their respective partners, not the mistake they made behind closed doors in Maryland. However, keeping a lid on this secret could be harder than Adam and Chelsea anticipate. Even if Chelsea and Adam can avoid a repeat passionate encounter, they'll still be under a lot of pressure to keep quiet. Hiding this cheating secret from Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, and Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson, will certainly come with some challenges. It's easy to imagine the guilt taking a toll, so Adam and Chelsea may have some arguments about whether to come clean in the weeks ahead. There may be moments when one of them feels like they just can't take the deception anymore, and in those cases, the other one may stand firmly against the idea. Regardless, Chelsea and Adam will inevitably end up talking about what happened between them despite their agreement not to discuss it with anyone. Eavesdropping is the easiest way for someone to learn a secret on a soap, so this could turn into a situation where another character makes a shocking discovery. Will someone overhear something they're not supposed to? If Adam and Chelsea's cheating secret is going to fall into the wrong hands, perhaps it'll be Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, who finds out what they did. Nick would no doubt be furious to learn Adam betrayed Sally like this. You can bet Nick would threaten to tell Sally the truth, but Adam and Chelsea could plead for his silence. Considering everything that's been going on with Connor Newman, Judah Mackey, Chelsea and Adam might argue that they screwed up because they've been so out of their minds with concern for their son. Would that be a good enough reason for Nick to keep his mouth shut? Does that really justify the betrayal that Sally and Billy have both faced? Nick might find himself torn if Adam and Chelsea insist nothing will ever happen between them again. Chelsea and Adam could beg Nick not to blow up lives necessarily, especially when this Connor crisis is still going on. Nevertheless, Nick cares about Sally and may have a hard time living with a secret like this if he indeed discovers Adam cheated with Chelsea. Our Y&R predictions point to Nick possibly landing in a tight spot down the road, so stay tuned to see if he'll get updates on the betrayal news. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Chelsea and Adam won't be able to avoid the fallout of their actions forever, so don't miss what's in store. CDL's where you want to be for Scorching Young and the Restless spoilers, predictions, news and updates, so make us your favorite Y&R hotspot. Nick Newman paced the length of the Newman Enterprises office, his mind a whirlwind of thoughts. The sleek, modern decor with its minimalist lines and the city skyline visible through the floor-to-ceiling windows did little to calm his racing heart. He'd come to expect a certain level of chaos in his life, but this felt like a betrayal he wasn't sure he could forgive. It had all started innocuously enough. Nick had been wrapping up a late night at the office, the pressure of running the family empire weighing heavily on his shoulders. He had been deep in thought, contemplating a recent acquisition, when he received a text from an anonymous source. The message was cryptic but clear. Adam and Chelsea. Tonight. The penthouse. At first, he dismissed it as a prank or a misguided attempt to stir up trouble. But as the minutes ticked by, a nagging doubt began to creep in. He knew his brother Adam's penchant for chaos and self-destruction, and Chelsea's history with the Newman family was fraught with complications. Unable to shake the feeling, he decided to check it out himself. Driving through the quiet streets of Genoa City, Nick's mind was a jumble of emotions. He thought of Sally, the woman he had grown close to, and how much she meant to him. Their relationship was still new, but he felt a genuine connection with her, something he hadn't felt in a long time. The thought of Adam betraying him, once again, was almost too much to bear. When he arrived at Chelsea's penthouse, he parked a discreet distance away and made his way to the building. As he approached the door, he could hear muted voices and laughter from inside. His heart sank. With a sense of dread, he positioned himself near a window, peering inside. What he saw confirmed his worst fears. Adam and Chelsea were together, their bodies entwined in a passionate embrace. The sight of them, so close and intimate, was like a punch to the gut. Nick felt a surge of anger and betrayal well up inside him. He had always tried to be the better man, to rise above the petty rivalries that had plagued their family, but this was unforgivable. Quietly, he retreated to his car, his mind racing with thoughts of revenge. He knew he had to tell Sally the truth, but he also knew it would devastate her. She deserved to know, though. She deserved to know the kind of man Adam really was. The next morning, Nick confronted Adam at the Newman Enterprises office. Adam was leaning back in his chair, a smug smile playing on his lips as Nick entered the room. The tension was palpable. "Nick?" Adam greeted, his tone dripping with false sincerity. "To what do I owe the pleasure?" Nick didn't waste any time with pleasantries. "I know about you and Chelsea," he said, his voice low and dangerous. "I saw you two together last night." Adam's expression faltered for a moment, but he quickly recovered. "Nick, don't bother denying it," Nick cut him off. "I saw it with my own eyes. You betrayed me again. And this time I'm not going to let it slide." Adam leaned forward, his eyes narrowing. "So what are you going to do, Nick? Run to Sally and tell her all about it? You think that'll solve anything?" Nick clenched his fists, struggling to keep his composure. "She deserves to know the truth. She deserves better than you." Adam's smile returned, more sinister this time. "And what about you, Nick? Do you think you're any better? We're all flawed, all capable of making mistakes." "Maybe," Nick conceded, "but at least I tried to be a decent person. You, on the other hand, seem to thrive on causing pain and chaos." The room fell silent, the air thick with unresolved tension. Nick knew he had to make a decision. Telling Sally the truth would hurt her, but keeping it from her would be a betrayal of his own values. Later that day, Nick met Sally at Crimson Lights. The coffee shop was bustling with activity, the hum of conversation and the clinking of cups providing a comforting backdrop. Sally greeted him with a warm smile, but Nick could see the concern in her eyes. "Nick, what's wrong? You look like you've seen a ghost," she said, her hand reaching out to touch his. He took a deep breath, steeling himself for what he had to say. "Sally, there's something you need to know. It's about Adam." She frowned, her eyes searching his. "What is it?" "I found out that Adam has been seeing Chelsea behind your back," he said, his voice steady but filled with sorrow. "I saw them together last night." Sally's face went pale, her hand trembling as she pulled it away. "Are you sure, Nick? This isn't some misunderstanding?" "I'm sure," he replied, his heart etching at the pain in her eyes. "I wish it weren't true, but it is." For a moment, Sally was silent, processing the information. Then she looked up at him, her eyes hardening with resolve. "Thank you for telling me, Nick. I appreciate your honesty."